There's up dog all over your shirt, bro. Wait, what? What's up, dog? The interrogation of a police detective? Was that the one?
This is Oklahoma police detective Michael Neely.
This was the one.
For over a decade, Michael would interrogate suspects as they sat in the same seat that he is sitting in now. Just the day before, Michael and his chief of police, Lucky Miller, had gone on a trip together to attend a law enforcement conference in Florida. While they stayed at a hotel, the staff would receive multiple noise complaints from the room that both officers shared. Security would enter the room and find Michael sitting on top of his deceased police chief.
True crime reacts are back. Let it be known.
Martinez, I think you've already met Mr. Tatum.
I'm just gonna tweet true crime.
Mike, before we begin, advise you of your rights, all right?
Yeah.
So tell me, Mike, you guys flew out of Tulsa?
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City, okay. And to Pensacola?
Yep.
Was it a direct flight?
Nope.
Law enforcement conferences have to be the biggest collection of domestic violence perps in existence? Yes. You can never have too many hot dogs in one fucking room. It's a sausage party.
Where'd you guys stop?
Houston.
Houston. Was it a long layover or just a...
Short, pretty short.
So from Houston to Pensacola?
Always Oklahoma? Yep.
You guys get in?
I don't even remember. The afternoon sometime.
Did you guys get to run a car?
Yes.
Okay. Enterprise or?
I think it was Enterprise.
Okay. All right, and then from there?
We got to the hotel and that's it.
You got to the hotel. Did you guys make any stops anywhere? Or?
Nope.
After checking into the hotel, both men began drinking and watching a football game in the hotel's restaurant. They started with beer, but then quickly moved to vodka. Both men were extremely intoxicated by the time they made it back to their room.
Any problems or anything going on at crowd? Just a normal dinner or what?
It's normal.
Any drinks there or just dining with?
A couple beers. Yeah.
And I guess from where Krabs is to the hotel, just walked.
Yeah, it's not very far. Yeah, it's just right there.
Was it a early dinner, late dinner, or what?
Pretty early. It was. I don't even think it was dark yet.
All right.
Why are they drinking with each other in a hotel room?
That's about it. Just watch football game.
Particular team or just football in general?
That was a Dallas game starting. Dallas and somebody, I don't remember who.
All right. Do you remember hotel staff or hotel employee coming up and telling you guys to keep it down?
I don't remember that.
So what is the last thing you remember as far as that evening up until the football game?
Michael doesn't know that the chief is dead, and he's about to ask in a very strange way.
Well, I mean, I know you're asking me questions, but can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, homicide. Who is dead?
Dead.
Dead.
Yes, sir.
If you're a cop and you don't realize that you need a fucking lawyer at this stage, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you've done this already. Like, this is your job. Your job is your job quite literally is to put people in that position. How the fuck? Not all cops know the law. Man, this isn't even about the law, bro. What do you mean? He's interrogated people before. He probably fucking high fives with the rest of the pigs after he's done clapping up another fucking person because they were dumb. They were too dumb and they started like spitting before a fucking lawyer entered the room. That is always surprising to me. Like, you know your ways. You are a cop. How do you not know?
Okay.
I gotta pee again. Fuck. Can't stop peeing, dude.
So we're trying to figure out what happened.
I guess I probably don't have anything else to say then. I've got nothing to say to you.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Michael invokes his rights, but a trained detective has ways of getting a suspect to talk without asking them questions about the case.
Did you advise him what he was charged with?
No, Michael, you've been charged with second-degree murder.
Okay.
Okay.
I had no idea what I was being charged with.
Yeah, you're being charged with second-degree murder, and you're fixing to be booked in the Escambia County Jail with no bond. And we've already notified your wife
Okay.
and
The victim,
Yes.
I'm assuming.
yes,
Okay.
and
Why is he chilling?
we've notified the department
Okay.
and the task force head.
Okay.
You have any questions for us?
I mean, I've got 1,000 of them, but I mean, really doesn't make it.
Well, I mean, sure it does. I mean, if you want to talk, we'll sit here and listen to you talk. I mean, we'd love to know what the heck happened. But I mean, that's up to you. I mean, we'll answer your questions, in return. So
I would love to know what happened to,
What, the
well, I mean,
victim?
do you want to continue to talk to us? If
I
you
would
do,
love to
then
know
I
what
mean, we'll
happened to
tell
the
you what
victim.
happened.
Is he
I mean,
dead?
I would love. I would like to. I would like to know what happened. Because I'm telling you, I don't.
This is a really good. This is a really good defense in a situation where you're already in a hospital gown, talking to police officers who are telling you that the other cop that you spent the night with is now dead. One really good technique is called feigning ignorance. Cops have no object permanence, and they will be blinded by this question, and they will think, "Oh, I guess he's asking this question. He must be innocent. Please, go right away. Walk outside."
I don't have any memory of any of this shit, and I'm shocked that it's dead. I mean, it's shocking. Tell you that.
Shocking.
Maybe it could jog my memory. I have no idea. But I don't know.
Do you want to continue talking to us?
Yeah, I mean, I'll.
Bro, he's not even really like that. He's not even trying that hard. Like, he's just like, I'm very shocked. I think I'm shocked. Not entirely certain on how shocked I am, but I think it's a shocking information. Like, what the fuck? Now that is a neutral reaction, okay? He's literally like, he is not being dismissive. I can't tell if he's being dismissive or not because his reaction truly is unimaginably neutral. Respect to him for that one, okay?
Continue to talk. I'd like to know what happened. I mean, what if you'll tell me what happened? That'd be great.
Okay. Well, we'll continue this interview with you. It's like I'm trying to get you to figure out what's the last thing you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And if the last thing you remember was watching football, do you remember drinking?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you drinking the vodka?
Yeah, I drank some vodka. Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to figure out if you stopped anywhere, because there was a bottle of vodka in the refrigerator. So,
Okay.
like I said, we've all flown on airplanes, and we know you can't carry.
Yeah, that was before dinner. I think that was either before dinner or right after dinner. Bought that vodka. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I know being out there, there's that liquor store right, probably to the front and to the right.
Looking real good, brother. You know how it is.
Yep.
That sweet liquor store.
Well, the first call came a little bit after 6, I believe. One of the guys that the room next to you didn't say you guys were arguing, just being loud, just laughing, yelling. Probably maintenance or security came
This
up.
is pretty cool, by the way. Just casually chilling and like browsing Reddit on your phone as the other detective is asking another detective who's just done a murder. He's just literally scrolling. Bro, cops love browsing their phones in inappropriate times, dude.
Knocked on your door, answered it. The guy said, "Can you guys keep it down? We got a noise complaint." He said, "Fine, we'll keep it down."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the next
God damn. How loud were they fucking, dude? They were getting sturdy.
noise complaint came out about 9 minutes till 10 in the evening. This one was from the other neighbor, because the one beside you, the first complainant, they moved to his room because you guys were continuing just to be loud. Nothing out of sorts, just being loud. This time he can't get anybody to come to the door. All he hears, he's knocking. He hears just grumbling, grunting. Uses his car to get in. Walks in, and you remember the room layout. There's 2 queen beds. Is on the ground between the bed and the wall. You are sitting on his chest. His face is beaten, and he tells you, "Get off of him, get off of him."
What the
Pulls you off of him. You go on the bed, roll off the bed, fall on your face, and that's where the nose and the lip get busted and unresponsive.
Okay.
The statement that was given by the second noise complaint could hear a male saying, "Mike, stop, Mike, stop," and then it just went quiet.
You would think that a detective who is familiar with the law and who has just been charged with homicide would remain silent and ask for a lawyer.
Nope.
So far, Michael has done everything you should not do in his situation. He hasn't shown remorse or sympathy
And also, he's like, bro, this content is sleeper. Is Hasan Abi's broadcast on? I'm falling asleep.
for his chief or the chief's family, which would have gone a long way in proving his accidental death. He also hasn't spoken with a lawyer first, so they could discuss his options moving forward.
Dead? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir, he's dead. He was found dead between the his bed and the wall. And his face was, his right eye was pretty much swollen shut.
Beat his ass pretty good, didn't I? I mean, whoever did that. Not me, of course. Hey, Weeby, how about you shut the fuck up, okay? I'm sorry that I'm not watching Bill Maher complain about woke culture for the 700th time this month, okay? Jesus fucking Christ. Let other people enjoy things every now and then, okay? My bad. Jesus fucking Christ. Begging to watch the 11th Bill Maher video about woke culture.
Does any of that jog your memory, Mike?
No, it doesn't.
Did you have any kind of animosity or anything like that towards?
Not at all. No.
Have you ever had a violent outburst or anything like that before when you were drinking?
No.
Anybody ever told you that you got violent when you drank?
No. Huh. Yeah, that's, I can't believe it.
There's a lot of people, like I said, commander down in your unit said you guys were practically brothers.
Yeah,
You were too.
huh.
It's possible that Michael could very well be in shock, which would explain his behavior. A person suffering from shock will have an altered mental state. Their mind feels like it's in a fog, which slows down their alertness and awareness. They will also be in denial about their situation.
Do you have any questions for us, Mike?
It's just unbelievable.
Did you make any phone calls? I mean,
I called my wife, earlier in the night. It's, man, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Okay, never mind. I guess we let him go now.
Why do you say that?
I got no problem. I can't believe what you're telling me. It has happened. I can't believe it. Wow.
Well, this sucks for us just as much as it does for you. I mean, having to arrest a fellow officer, for something like this.
Is dead. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Huh. And from what? What's he dead from?
well, right now, like I said, we don't know until we have the autopsy.
Right. I'm feeling my hands. My hands don't feel anything. What's he dead from? I don't understand.
I mean, it appears that he's been beat to death by all indicators that we have at this time that we can physically see.
Your Honor, you don't understand. I can't feel my hands. They're numb. Therefore, I can't tell you if they hurt or not. They're numb. It feels almost like I've been pummeling a blunt object over and over again. You know what I'm saying?
It gives the appearance that he's beat to death. His head is very swollen, like we said. His right eye is completely shut. And as he laid there, as time was going on, as we were getting the search warrants and everything together that we needed to do, bruises were starting to show up even more. I mean, you can't think of anything that would have triggered you to jump on?
Nothing. It's nothing. It's unbelievable.
Something happened at some point in time that triggered a reaction from you, and that's what we're just trying to figure out ourselves.
Well,
I mean, we find out that you guys are down here for a damn homicide and crime scene class.
yeah.
We were just trying to recreate one, to study. Got out of control.
Down here and then this mess happens this morning or last night.
It doesn't make any sense that his hands do not look. What the fuck happened to my cursor? Oh. It doesn't make sense that his hands look fine though from this angle.
It just throws all of us for a loop. It throws all your bosses and everything, your arms and everything else for a loop.
Yep.
His right hand has bandages, but that's for IV. Some of you have never woken up in a hospital and it shows, okay?
Got no problem. I don't. It's just unbelievable. I can't. I don't know.
At what point in the game do you remember?
And we went out to eat.
Was the game playing when y'all left to go out to eat?
No, we came back. It was a Dallas game. I don't even know what time it started. He kept wanting to go out. I just kept telling him I don't want to go out. You know, it's a bad idea. You shouldn't go out.
Where was he wanting to go?
In the bar. I don't know nowhere specific, you know.
Did he keep on about it and you got upset about that?
Well, he kept on about it, but I don't remember getting upset about it. You know, he kept on about it. It's like, it seemed later than it was, you know, it seemed late.
Yeah, it's time change, man. It messes everything.
I literally do not understand how, like, what is the purpose? What is this man doing? Is he just like out of his mind? I feel like the big twist in this is going to be that, like, he's experiencing brain death at this very moment from the, you know, alcohol consumption. And that's precisely why that's precisely why he's just responding this way. There's no fucking shot that a person who has like at least 3.5 brain cells would react this way. I'm so sorry. What the fuck is this? Good bush, bad bush. Okay, bro.
Thing up, it gets darker a whole lot quicker, and it does. It seems later than it is.
Yep. And you know, he kept wanting to go out. Let's go to the bar. When you go to the bar, I said that's a bad idea. We shouldn't. You know, let's not do that. I mean, I wasn't pissed off at him, for God's sakes. Shit. Huh.
Now, I remember you said that he got the bottle of vodka. Were you guys both drinking vodka, or just?
Yeah, I drank vodka with him. You know.
Because that way it'll be something the ME's office will need to know, especially when we do the toxicology.
I can't. It's unbelievable. I just cannot believe. I can't believe it.
Michael would be sentenced to life in prison for taking the life.
Wait, what? How? I don't understand. He made such a compelling defense. I cannot believe it. He used these magic words, okay? These 4 magic words. For people who don't know, cops, when you use these 4 magic words, have to let you go. It's I cannot believe it.
Of Police Chief Lucky Miller. Lucky's sister would speak at Michael's sentencing in regards to the death of her brother. She stated, "One of the things I struggle with the most is trying to understand how the person who was his partner and friend and knows all of us was the one who took his life, even when..."
Okay, for the record, it's obvious what happened, right? It's a lover's quarrel, right? No, I said cannot as one, like can't. It screams like, killed him over a sports disagreement? Yeah, okay.
Lucky was pleading with him to stop. "I cannot fathom how a person, especially one who was sworn to serve and protect others..."
What? That's weird that a family member of a cop said, I cannot believe someone who is sworn to protect and serve would be insanely violent to a partner. Shocking.
Take someone else's life with his bare hands.
And that's where we're at, because like I said, there's our department that's wanting to know what happened, and there's your department wanting to know what happened. And
I get you.
And at that time, like I said, we didn't know what your condition was, whether we were going to get answers or not. And then, like I said, there's more questions than answers. Especially since you guys had such a close relationship to begin with.
Yep.
Anything else?
You got any questions for us, Mike, before we get you across the street?
No, I guess I'm getting booked into jail, and
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, we're gonna get you booked in the jail and put in special housing over there so that you're not back there with the heads and stuff.
right.
And protective custody. You're not wanting to harm yourself or anything, are you?
No,
Okay. Do you have any kind of medical issues?
not that I'm aware of.
Okay. You don't take any kind of.
Kind of wild. He's just tanking it, dude. Did he not realize what's happening to him? He's just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, lock me up. Come on. I'm done.
You take asthma medication, right?
Yeah, I've got some inhalers.
Is that something that you have to have every day?
No, it's as needed. Usually, yeah, I take the one usually every day, but it's not. I don't know if it's doing any good or not. But one of them that I need sometimes.
Well, just make sure that you tell them that over there when that nurse is talking with you.
Mm-hmm.
That you tell them all that so that they can get that stuff for you.
He just lost his best friend, man. Give him a break. Jesus Christ.
I just,
Where's my compassion? You're right.
I can't. I just can't believe it. It's unbelievable.
Well, that's what we're just trying to figure out. You know, I mean, things happen. Bad things happen
Yep.
sometimes, and there is no excuse for it, no reason why. We don't know. It's a moment in time where I guess you don't realize what's going on.
Dang.
Car's going with him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
I'll let you all check.
This is Investigator Martinez with the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. Interview and it is conducted at the Hilton on Pensacola Beach, 12 Via de Luna.
For the people asking TLDR, you're literally about to find out. This is going to be the TLDR. The security who arrived at the room is going to tell you.
Present during this interview is Deputy Sheriff Lloyd and John Gardner. Can you state your name for the record, sir?
John Garner?
Mr. Gardner, are you employed with the Hilton, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long have you been employed?
Since April of 2018.
Okay. Mr. Gardner, what are some of your duties here at the Hilton?
I'm in charge of maintenance of the property on nights.
Okay. Were you working on the day of the homicide here at the Hilton?
Yes.
What?
Okay. Can you tell me about that night or that evening?
The fuck? They ripped his legs? He ripped his pant leg off? What the fuck? Or did they cut it because he had an injury or something? No.
Started off all normal. No worries.
Yeah, EMTs probably did it.
The room in question had a service call at approximately 6 o'clock for a TV remote. Went up to the room and saw the two gentlemen. Everything was fine, including the TV remote, which is in the room on the table.
Okay. Did you go in the room to...
Not at that time. I was standing in the doorway and I saw the TV remote, and then all.
Bro, that is the most Yes, dude. Oh my God, dude. That is so. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's like he has a class ring for like policing. I love that.
Not at that time. I was standing in the doorway and I saw the TV remote, and then all
State
I asked
investigator,
is,
drug
"Are the
task
batteries
force."
good?" And he said, "Let me check." So we checked, and everything was fine.
Okay.
And then I left.
All right. Was that first time also any time someone, as far as you getting noise complaints about the room, or was that?
There was no noise complaints at that time.
Okay. So the second time you went up to the room, what was that?
The second time was a noise complaint from the guest in room 525. And we wound up moving those guests to another room, and I told one of the gentlemen that
Got a tactical bag.
just brought his head to the door with it just open slightly, that we have a noise complaint and you guys need to calm down. This is your first warning. And he said, okay.
Dude, if you were to describe to me what kind of flip-flops a cop would wear, immediately this would come to mind, okay? Like, I can't imagine more cop-like flip-flops, like tactical Under Armour flip-flops, because it ain't gay. It's fucking in the middle of your toes, right? Flip-flops, they're kind of gay, but these are tactical. They're Under Armour, brother, you know? So it's all right.
We'll calm them down.
Okay. And what about the next time?
Next time
I can see him wearing cargo shorts with these flip-flops. Okay? Like, I know the fattest pockets on them cargo shorts. And the cargo shorts are so long, they might as well be pants. Okay? They're definitely below the knee cargo shorts. With the biggest pockets. You know he has skin-tight Oakleys on. My man's got skin-tight Oakleys on, and he's wearing the Under Armour.
After the guest in 529 had a noise complaint, and
ew, why the fuck would you? Oh, I guess maybe this was out. I was about to say, why would you? He did not put this in his toiletries bag, right?
then they actually, after they made a noise complaint, they came down and said it all of a sudden went silent. We don't hear anything. And so I went up to the room and I knocked on the door, 527, announced myself as maintenance security.
I love when security guys get all cop-like. I tactically ascertained that there was a kerfuffle happening and immediately announced myself and gave an ocular pat down in the room where I noticed that one cop was on top of the other.
And all I got was a grunt in return. I knocked on the door one more time, announced myself again. All I got was a grunt in return. Third time, knock, grunt, and then I called on the radio down to the front desk and told them I'm going into the room. I'm not getting anybody to come to the door, and all I'm hearing is a grunting noise. They said, okay, you're authorized to go in. I went, opened the door, announced myself. I could not see anybody other than someone's feet on the floor between the bed and the wall. I walked in further, saw one gentleman sitting on top of the other gentleman, and I told him he needed to get up, and all he would do was grunt. I observed some blood on the sheets.
This is exactly why I refuse to go to sleep first in a sleepover. Why? Because you think your homie's going to brutally murder you with his bare hands? Like, the worst is going to happen is like they're going to draw a dick on your face, my man. You know what I mean?
I need to lock that. Yep, just for a few minutes. Let's see. He was sitting on top of the gentleman. I told him to get up. All he did was grunt, and I said, okay. Observed some blood on the sheets. And I asked him one more time, get up off the gentleman. The gentleman that was laying on the floor, I kind of noticing him, if any movement on his chest was happening. I didn't notice any. So then I called down to the front desk on my radio and said, call for the deputies. And I asked the gentleman to get up off the other one. All he did was grunt again. This whole time his eyes were just barely open and closing.
Okay. When you say his eyes were barely open, are we talking the guy on the ground or the one that was on his chest?
The one that was on his chest.
Okay.
I couldn't see the gentleman's face on the ground. A third time asking him to get up.
Safe to say he's not
He
compliant.
did not. He grunted. I got up on the bed, grabbed the gentleman sitting, grabbed him by the arm up near the shoulder, pulled him off to have him fall on the bed.
I just don't understand how, like, is this a thing that happens? Like, what the fuck? He was just like in a blackout coma in a murderous rage. Like, it's like a wild moment.
And I noticed the gentleman on the floor, his face was discolored.
Why didn't he shoot him? He's not a cop. He's a security guy. Probably doesn't have a gun.
And then I called on the radio, called for the ambulance, the rescue squad. And then the gentleman that was sitting on him, I then realized he's on the floor, face first in the carpet. And I didn't do any more until, other than going to the door and just observing the one on the floor staying still, as far as the gentleman I pulled off. And there was still no movement from the other gentleman that was being sat on.
And that was the one between the bed and the wall?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I just waited for the deputies to arrive, and then they took over the room.
Okay. So when you said you waited, were you waiting in the
Doorway.
the threshold of the door?
Yes.
And the door was open, no one came in, no one left?
Other than me, no one went in that room.
Okay. So, and the gentleman that
And I was keeping the door open mainly to keep an eye on the gentleman that was face first that I pulled off.
Okay. So when you said you got on the bed, you pulled him up, did he come up onto the bed with you? Or did you
No,
pull
I
him?
was on the bed. I was standing on the mattress.
Okay, yeah.
And I grabbed him by, like I said, the upper arm and shoulder area, and I pulled him to get him off. I was intending him to stay on the bed.
Okay.
I wasn't actually trying to throw him across the room, but I don't know.
Okay. All right. So, and the gentleman you saw sitting on, we'll say it's the victim that was laying on the ground between the wall and the bed.
So he's
is
the
one
victim.
that
We'll say he's the victim, but, you know, they were probably doing some gay stuff, so I don't even want to say that. But we'll say he's the victim in this.
was laying face down near the dresser.
What do you mean we'll say he's the victim? He's dead, dog. What do you mean?
Foot of the bed, correct? He's the same guy that EMS attended to once they arrived.
As far as I know, the EMS attended both of them.
Okay. But he's the one that got removed from the room. Were you there when he got
Yes.
transported?
Yes.
Okay.
The one they transported was the one I pulled off, the one that was sitting on
The chest?
the chest of the guy between the bed and the wall.
Okay. All right. And then you also provided us the log of the card reader on the door, correct?
I did.
Okay. And that'll show the time that you went into the room?
Yes, it will.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that you think that is important that you can remember more about that evening?
What's important? Nothing glaring at me.
Okay. All right. Will you raise your right hand for me? You swear or affirm what you told me today is the truth to the best of your knowledge.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Interrogation of a psychopathic woman when a murderer is secretly in love with his victim. What is this? The strange psychology of Russell Williams? Wait, we've seen this already. We've watched Colonel Russell Williams. This is a crazy one, but I've watched this before. I know everything about this motherfucker. He's crazy. He's actually wild. Big Brother update. Both of the house kids who are in the finals threes this season were out taking the big dubs as a community. What? What a 14-year-old psychopath looks like?
Why did you choose Jamie, your friend?
Shit.
He was the easiest out of anybody because he would have followed me because we're such good friends.
Why did you make the suggestion to Jamie to go inside the school today?
I was planning to murder him.
Chat's literally gonna see itself in here, and this is gonna be a weird one. Okay, I gotta pee real bad.
Do you know why you were going to do this?
No, I don't.
This is 14-year-old Michael Hernandez. He's an honor roll student at Southwood Middle School, the well-behaved son of a business owner and an occupational therapist, and as of right now, he's the prime suspect in the cold-blooded murder of his close friend and schoolmate, 14-year-old Jaime Goff. Detectives would get the answers they're looking for, but only after enduring one of the most spine-chilling interrogations they would ever conduct. The following footage revealing a 14-year-old killer has never been seen before. February 3rd, 2004 started like any other Tuesday at Southwood Middle School in Miami, Florida. Students gathered outside of the school to meet up with friends, socialize, and wait for the doors to open at 8:50 a.m. No one thought much of it when two particular students weren't at their usual meeting spot by the teacher's parking lot that morning. The doors opened and students flooded inside. Before classes started, a student decided to make a pit stop to the boys' bathroom on the second floor of the school. He couldn't have known just how traumatic this decision would turn out to be. Upon entering, another student whom he didn't recognize calmly walked past him and exited the restroom. He observed a single black book bag sitting near the entrance of the bathroom and specks of blood dotting the floor. He peeked underneath the stalls to check if anyone was inside. There was indeed someone else in the bathroom, but something was terribly wrong. A large pool of blood was forming on the floor inside one of the stalls, and there appeared to be a pair.
Oh my God, what the fuck? Holy shit, that could have been bad, dude. Yeah, I'm not in the mood for this right now. Well, I am. I told you I would watch fucking... Listen, guys, I told you I would watch true crime, and we're watching it. Do you want fucking true crime or not? Do you want true crime or do you want fake crime? We want true crime. I'm about to eat. Yeah. I got my homophobic chicken right here, dude. My homophobic chicken on the one side, true crime on the other. Time. 2 days in a row, baby. Yeah, I've been switching it out a little bit. I've been trying to. Seeing a lot as a sign of a diabetic, or because I just had fucking an incredible amount of coffee, like so much more than I normally drink. Show the chicken you fuck. Bro, it's just the same as every day, man. Calm the fuck down, brother.
Her feet hanging down from the toilet.
I'm not
He
dirty
swiftly
bulking.
exited the bathroom to advise a nearby security guard that there appeared to be someone bleeding inside the boys' bathroom.
The real crime is forgetting the top of the hour ad break, which I'm not doing right now because at the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. If you no longer want to see those motherfucking ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do that for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get one free Prime subscription a month. You can also, you can get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here's the 1 minute ad break now, bitch. Woo! Woo! That's the real crime.
The guard simply brushed him off and told him to go to class. He then went and told a friend what he'd seen. Together, the two boys proceeded back into the bathroom. The stench of warm blood had begun to fill the small latrine. The pair tiptoed cautiously toward the stall. They knew they had to look inside. They prepared themselves for the worst, then hesitantly inched the stall door open. The scene before them could only be described as nightmarish. A male student, later identified as 14-year-old Jaime Goff, was covered in blood and unresponsive. He was positioned face down, his chest and torso lying across the toilet seat, while his head and legs hung limply over the sides of it. Blood streamed down his face and into a large pool that was forming on the floor beneath his head. In that pool lay a lone pair of black glasses. One of the boys shouted to the victim twice. When they got no reply, shock turned into panic. The two fled the bathroom in hysterics, startling the security guard in the hallway. This time, alarmed by the student's clear distress, the guard rushed into the boys' bathroom. Upon witnessing the grotesque scene, he immediately radioed the Miami-Dade Police Department. The guard then left the bathroom to retrieve the assistant principal. Upon returning, the guard discovered that, in the few minutes he'd been absent from the bathroom, someone had come in and removed the victim's body from the toilet. The body was now lying face up on the stall floor, his arms splayed out to the sides. School personnel could now clearly see that one side of his neck was shredded to pieces. The school was immediately put on lockdown.
Bro, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to eat.
A few hours later,
this.
Investigators entered the classroom of 8th grade student Michael Hernandez, who'd been identified by one of the two witnesses as the boy they'd seen exit the bathroom that morning. Michael's teacher approached detectives first, with a few pieces of interesting information. She stated that she let her students into the classroom at 8:55 a.m., and since that time, Michael had requested to go to the bathroom 3 times. The teacher observed that Michael had blood on his shirt, which he attributed to a nosebleed. He made 2 trips to the bathroom before 9 a.m. After the school went into lockdown, Michael requested to go to the bathroom a 3rd time, wherein his teacher summoned a security guard to escort him to an unoccupied restroom and back to class. This was reportedly the last time Michael had left the classroom. Michael was taken to an office on the 1st floor of the school to speak with detectives. When investigators inquired as to how Michael got blood on his shirt, he told them that he'd been hit in the face by a door while horseplaying with the victim earlier that morning. The detective examined Michael's face but found no open wounds that he could have bled from. Michael quickly changed his story. He claimed he'd gone back to the 2nd floor bathroom where he'd parted ways with Jaime earlier.
What sauce did you get? Come on, son. What a dumb question. Honey roasted barbecue, baby. Literally the #1 goated sauce on Chick-fil-A.
When he entered the restroom, there was already another student inside that Michael wasn't familiar with. The student advised Michael that there was someone inside one of the stalls. That's when Michael got down close to
Polynesian is like almost #1. Guys, I literally have one of the big stacks of Polynesian, like the ones that you get at like a fucking grocery store, and one of Chick-fil-A sauce. Don't talk to me about Chick-fil-A sauce. I'm the sauce boss, bitch. I literally, listen, I say homophobic slurs before I buy these things, okay? Just so the zest kicks in. Do you understand? Don't come at me. Yeah, I got the sriracha right here. That's pretty decent too. The sweet sriracha, sweet and spicy sriracha.
To the floor to look underneath. When he bent down, his shirt grazed the floor and got blood on it. However, he did in fact see his friend Jaime inside the stall. After that, he simply left the bathroom and went to class. After collecting Michael's statement, a consensual search of Michael's book bag was conducted. What they found inside told an even more shocking story than the one Michael had just spun. Inside the bag was a red jacket and 2 latex gloves, both with traces of blood on them. The detective asked Michael to accompany him to the station, to which Michael agreed. A little after 1:40 p.m., Michael was transported to the Miami-Dade Homicide Bureau office. Here, he regaled detectives with an
What the fuck was he thinking?
entirely different tale. The version you're about to see is more twisted and disturbing than anything detectives had heard so far. The following never-before-seen footage has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed professional counselor, a licensed attorney and former prosecutor, and a licensed clinical psychologist.
Ready? Yeah. Please raise your right hand. Let's swear you in. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth.
Feels kind of gross.
Yes, I do.
But, you know, fuck it, we
Though
ball.
he is a minor at 14 years old, Michael is being questioned alone and without his parents, because in Florida, the law allows minors to be interviewed without parental consent or their presence in the interrogation. However, parents
Love that, by the way, for Florida, which is pretty big dub for the state of Florida, who also has the same principle that I just gave you. Fuck it, we ball. Florida's like, yeah, you don't care. We don't give a fuck. Yeah. Are you 7 years old? Who gives a shit? You know, we'll interrogate you. But also at the same time, they're in Florida, so the cops are fucking stupid. So, you know what I mean? Like, it just basically like on the one hand, it is ridiculous that like you can be interrogated as a minor without your parents or like a, you know, actual counsel present. But also, on the other hand, it's like the person that's interrogating you literally has the brain of a 7-year-old half the time. So it's like a fair playing field.
can request a lawyer or stop
Someone
the
says skill-based
questioning on behalf of a
matchmaking. Yep.
minor at any time. These laws can vary by state, as some states do require parental consent.
Mike, just do me a favor. When you talk clearly so that Ms. Renee can understand you. Okay? For the record, could you please state your name?
Michael Hernandez.
Mike, what's your birth date?
February 2nd, 1990.
Happy birthday. Thank you. So you just turned 14?
Yes, I did.
Very good. And what grade are you in?
I'm in the
You said you just turned 14.
Michael
Very
is being
good.
very cooperative and well-mannered during the preliminary questioning. He articulates well and answers the detective's questions clearly. His posture mimics that of an attentive student. He's sitting up straight, his hands folded in front of him, and his eyes keenly fixed on the detective. His body language conveys
By the way, this is the most 32-year-old, 14-year-old I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I mean, he's already a psychopathic murderer, right? So I don't really feel too bad shitting on him, but his fucking hairline, oh my God, dude. At that point, you're ABAB, assigned bald at birth. You don't have a lot of options, you know? You make do with what's going on.
respect and a willingness to be compliant. However, we'll soon see that his motives are actually much darker.
What school do you go to?
Southwood Middle School.
And are you in any special classes or anything? Any honors classes?
I'm in gifted.
When you look like that at the age of 14, you got two options, okay? Crypto furry YouTube essayist that talks about libertarianism. 1 million Reddit karma. Psychopathic murderer. That's it. He said, why not all three?
All my classes are gifted except for my electives.
Very good.
Is he balling, dude? What is this? Oh, I'm a gifted student.
You can read and write the English language, correct?
Yes, I can.
And what are your grades in school, Mike?
A's and B's.
Michael appears proud to talk about his exceptional performance in school. Being a gifted student seems to be a big part of Michael's identity.
Do you know an individual by the name of Jaime or Jamie Goff?
Yes, I do.
The J in Jaime here is pronounced with an H sound, like it would be pronounced in Spanish.
Thanks.
But Michael and the detective pronounce Jaime with the J sound. At the mention of the victim's name, Michael's cool demeanor slips very subtly. For the first time, he seems to hesitate before answering the question.
Homie is 14, dog. That's probably why.
Yes, I do.
His hands make a slight movement, as if he's trying to talk with them, but doesn't exactly know how.
And how do you know Jamie?
We've been friends since the 7th grade.
And for the record, Jamie is the victim in this case. How old is Jamie?
14.
And you're 14 also.
Yes.
How much older is he than you?
I'd say about 4 months. Let's see.
For the fucking motherfucking cocksucker said 600 calorie salad dressing. It's 300 calories, and I don't have the full thing. Thank you. Okay? Cocksucker motherfucking calorie counter in my chat. I will ban you if I can. Yeah, I'm mad. Don't count my calories, bitch. I know what I'm doing.
4 months. Almost 4. It would take a few days.
Okay.
Normally, detectives ask a suspect very open-ended questions like, "Tell me what you did this day." But here, the detective is using a lot of leading questions, which may be due to Michael's very young age.
And what time did you get to school?
8:25, or a little after, between 8 and 9:30.
And when you arrived at school, where did you go to?
I went to the fence on the.
This is a diet lemonade, 25 calories, Chick-fil-A Cool Wrap, which is like 320 calories or something, and I had a grilled chicken sandwich, no cheese, nothing, which is another like 300, 400 calories. I also have 2 pieces of grilled chicken that I grilled, which is about approximately 0.300, not even, like 0.200 pounds, almost 0.300 pounds. So that's like another 150 calories. No, the grilled is not spicy.
Outside of the parking lot, north of the parking lot.
And that is not that.
And why is that?
Wait, my man, you guys don't understand. This entire meal is like going to be around 1,000 calories or less.
Is where me and some other people would just hang out.
And this would be before class?
Yes, before class.
And who were the people that you would hang out with in the morning?
You guys don't know how to do math,
most
so.
of the time it'd be with Jamie Goff, Andre Martin, and myself. And sometimes there were some other people, but they didn't hang out with us. They just were there.
Okay. Today, yes, who did you meet at the fence?
I met Jamie Goff.
And how did Jamie seem this morning?
He seemed like he normal hall, like he does every morning.
Did you make any suggestions to Jamie that you and him go into the school early this morning?
Yes, I did.
And about what time was that you suggested that both of you go inside?
A little after 8:30, maybe like 8:31 or 35, between those times.
What time does school open and are students allowed inside the school?
8:50.
Did Jamie agree to your suggestion to go inside when you made that to him?
We had to make a deal first because he didn't want to get in trouble because we've gotten in trouble on previous times when we've attempted to go up there.
And why do you get in trouble for attempting to go inside the school?
Because it's too early and we shouldn't be walking around upstairs. And
I see. Why did you make the suggestion to Jamie to go inside the school today?
I was planning to murder him.
What?
Michael answers this question as matter-of-factly as he's answered all the other questions so far. There's not a single hint of empathy.
Throwing, bro. L. Big L. He just threw. Guys, I think he did it. That's so weird. How the fuck how are you like a 10-year-old and that's the words that come out of your mouth? God damn, dude, just broken from the jump. And I guess that's why it says, like, this is the most psychopathic kid. This is the most normal Redditor, by the way.
Or remorse to be found. He seems undeterred, even by the fact that he's admitting to first-degree murder and exposing himself to the highest level of criminal penalty there is. Michael likely isn't aware of this, but under Florida state law, 14 and 15-year-olds can be tried as adults for certain felonies. They can also be subjected to the exact same penalties that an adult can receive, with the exception of the death penalty. Since Michael has already confessed to the first-degree murder of his friend, all that's left is to see if the court will possibly take pity on him.
Do you know why you were going to do this?
No, I don't.
Now, what was your plan? How were you going to accomplish this?
I was going to get him into a stall, the last stall, because it's the biggest, so I'd have more room.
Now, this is in a restroom?
This is the restroom.
On which floor?
Second floor.
Okay, and it's the male restroom?
Yes, it is.
Where is it near?
It is near the media center and the gifted U.S. history class.
Okay. And once you brought or got Jamie in there, how are you going to bring him or lure him into the restroom?
We usually go to the restroom after we get upstairs so we don't get caught by security.
Okay.
And so I knew that was going to work. I got him into the stall by saying, look, I have something to show you. So I got him into the stall, and I told him to turn around because I wanted it to be a surprise. Before that, I put on the gloves. He saw me put on the gloves, and I said, I like them.
Oh, you're going too fast.
And I said, I like them because they're...
Dude, I love that. I love that. This guy said, smart kid, but wrong intentions. You think, man? You think his intentions are out of order a little bit? Describing at the age of 14 a gruesome murder that he planned. You know, pretty smart kid, but I'd say not great. His behavior, not great. Little bad.
They're comfortable.
It's possible that Michael's cadence has increased here due to his excitement to talk about the crime for the first time.
This is always how psychopaths behave.
Retelling a story can be a way for someone to relive an experience, and it often brings back feelings associated with the original event. His fast talking could also be due to his eagerness to show how smart he was in preparing for this crime. He may be seeking admiration from the detective for how well he planned his attack. Michael's enthusiasm is also evidenced in his full cooperation when being questioned, appearing like he's sitting for a job interview instead of an interrogation. It's odd that he doesn't seem afraid or bothered at all that he's sitting there because he's been caught for the murder of...
He was like, yeah, I thought, if I do a really good job, you guys will hire me. That's what he thought.
His friend.
Now, you also said that you put on gloves. What kind of gloves were these?
They were latex gloves.
Where did you get them from?
My mother purchased them at Walgreens the previous night.
Why did she purchase these? Was that at your request?
It was at my request because I said that I needed them for extra credit for my science class.
There's no denying at this point that Jaime's murder was premeditated. More disturbingly, it seems that Michael mapped out every single detail and accounted for almost all possible factors before executing his plan. A thorough search of Michael's backpack yielded a secret compartment that he'd made by cutting a slit in the inner lining and attaching Velcro along the edges of it so that it could be secured shut. He'd used this compartment to store the murder weapon, meaning Michael had even planned for the possibility of his backpack being searched.
Now, you and him are already in the stall, correct?
Yes.
Did he go into the stall first?
Yes.
Did you follow him?
Yes, I did.
Did you close the stall door?
Yes, I did.
Now, what transpired next?
Okay. I
What the
was
fuck?
talking to him and I told him, all right, now, I have to put my hand over your mouth.
Okay.
And so I did, and I lifted his neck up.
Now, was he facing you or was he away from you?
He was away from me.
Did you put your hand over his mouth?
Yes, I did.
And which hand did you use to put over his mouth?
My left hand.
Once you did that, what happened next?
I had already got, before I put my hand over his mouth, I already put my knife out. So the blade was already out.
Now, where had you kept this blade?
I had kept it in my jacket pocket.
And what color jacket did you have on today?
I had a red jacket.
Now, is this the same clothing that you're wearing?
Yes.
The detective is asking Michael a lot of control questions, meaning questions he already knows the answer to in order to see if Michael is being truthful with him. He's also asking him questions to see if they corroborate with the evidence they have already ascertained.
And what did you do next?
I took the knife out and I proceeded to slit his throat.
Now, do you remember in which direction you slit his throat?
Left to right.
Michael is able to recall the details of the murder extremely well, even noting the direction in which he slit his friend's throat. This is significant because it indicates that Michael didn't dissociate at all during the act.
Bro, there's something so weird with like psychopathic murderers. That's just like scarier than anything else you can ever listen to. It's just like how matter of fact he is about it. Like it's if he showed any emotion whatsoever and he wasn't so cold and calculated, like if he was angry, if he showed remorse, if he showed sadness, at least like then there is like a bit of humanity inside of him that you can recognize. Not saying you will have empathy for him, but like the fact that he's just not saying any single fucking, he's not showing a single ounce of like reaction to the actions makes it infinitely worse. Like that's a human being and it's not a human being at the same time.
Some offenders black out while committing a particularly heinous crime due to the extreme stress of the situation. Michael, however, was keenly aware of exactly what he was doing, from beginning to end. This idea is especially haunting when you learn exactly what Michael did to his young schoolmate. An autopsy of the victim's body concluded that, in addition to his throat being slit, Jaime had been stabbed in the neck over 40 times. It's gut-wrenching to think that Michael, a 14-year-old child, was in complete control the entire time, savoring every single jab, slice, and cut.
Did Jamie say or do anything? Did he put up a struggle?
Yes, he did. He turned around after I did that. He asked me not to kill him. So I told him, okay, I'm not going to if you cooperate.
Okay.
Which was a lie.
Right.
And so I realized that the stall door was open, so I locked it.
Yes.
And then I turned him around again and proceeded to stab him.
And where did you stab him, Mike?
I'm not positively sure, but I'm guessing around the jugular vein right around here.
Okay.
That's what I was aiming for.
Did you stab him anywhere else on his body?
Just basically the back of the neck, all through the neck.
Okay.
And once in the temple, and I think I sliced him here.
And that would be on the left side of his face?
Yes, the left side of the face.
Michael is speaking very matter-of-fact and openly. He's likely excited to show the detective how clever he was. This may have overshadowed any thoughts of self-preservation, as he readily admitted to killing Jaime. He may be either unaware of or unconcerned about the legal consequences for his actions. In addition, his young age may have played a role in his readiness to confess. The prefrontal cortex does not fully develop until around the age of 25. Michael may still be feeling amped up and powerful after the murder, and is acting on that emotion, which may make him want to brag about what he did, rather than consider the fallout for his confession.
Now, after you did that, what happened?
I left. I took my gloves off and I flushed them down the toilet.
Okay.
Okay. I left and I went to go clean myself off. People were coming in, and so I left that bathroom and went to the other one downstairs.
Okay, let me stop you here. After you stabbed him, did Jamie fall to the commode or to the toilet?
No, he did not. He was already positioned where he was found. I put his head under there to stop him from gasping for air.
Okay.
So it closed it up and
Oh, I see. Okay,
stop
now.
making noise.
I'm sorry?
So he would stop making noise.
Okay. Now, how did you know he was dead?
Motherfucker's 14. He said commode. It's a wrap.
I made sure by taking the point of my knife, and poking him in the face.
All right.
And I checked his eyes also, and they were motionless.
Okay. Now, when he fell, was he on his front, or was he on his side, or on his back? Do you remember?
He was on his front,
Okay.
faced at a kind of diagonal thing.
Yes.
There was blood coming from his mouth to the right of the toilet.
Oh, the cop said it?
And I guess there might have been blood in the toilet. And there was blood on the walls.
All right. What did you do with the knife and the jacket?
I put the knife was broken because of the stab wounds, and I couldn't close it back. So I closed it as much as I could, and I put it in my jacket pocket.
Okay.
I proceeded to go to the sink, and I wiped.
I bet him a cigarette after done eating. Bro, I have the weirdest fucking fans, dude. What's wrong with you, dude? No, I don't even at all. It's been many, many years since I smoked a cigarette. Plus, I chew nicotine gum.
Some of the blood off the jacket. Took the jacket off. No, I did not.
Oh.
When Michael is told to slow
Slow down, bro. We can't be keeping up with all the crimes you're admitting to.
down here, he seems to be getting carried away as he's telling a story. Overall, both his affect and tone appear markedly blunted throughout. While his speech speeds up either from anxiety or excitement, there's no major change as he talks about going to get the gloves versus viciously stabbing his friend, or even realizing he's dead.
It was at my request because I said that I needed them for extra credit for my science class. I took the knife out and I proceeded to slit his throat. I did not take the jacket off at that point. I just wet it to get the blood off.
Okay.
I proceeded to go downstairs to the other bathroom on the first floor.
What do you call your viewers fans? This has got to be this dude's first fucking day on the on the platform. You good, bro? Go on. Like, the dude was a 12-month subscriber. I think at that point it's adequate to say fan.
I then wiped myself off with all the stuff off my face and the stuff off my jacket. Then I took the jacket off and put it in my book.
Now, you said that you had flushed some gloves down the toilet.
There were two. I flushed 2 gloves.
2 gloves. How many pair of gloves did you have?
I had 2 pair, 4 gloves in all.
Where did you keep the other pair of gloves?
In the jacket pocket where I kept the knife.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Now, before you gloved up this morning in the bathroom, did you remove any of your jewelry?
I removed my rings because they would have cut through the latex glove.
Okay. Did anything...
Like, look, he thinks he's brilliant for, like, thinking of these details, by the way. You could tell. It's just a major flex for him.
Unusual, or did you notice anything unusual when you put your hand...
Also, those rings were kind of drippy, but that's besides the point. Why does he have, like... Why does this 14-year-old have so much drip? I did not wear rings like that when I was 14.
In your jacket pocket after the incident?
Yes, one of my rings was missing.
And which ring was that?
It was the ring on my right ring finger.
So, what did you do?
I went back upstairs to find the ring. There was a witness there saying that someone was in that stall.
The way Michael refers to a witness is an indication that he may have strategically and specifically planned the entire murder, considering the possibility of witnesses being present or interfering in some way. He's speaking as if he's a law enforcement official describing or examining this case, rather than the perpetrator describing his own acts.
I went to go look, having known what was there. And I saw my ring and picked it up and then left.
Okay. Had you gone up there actually to check to see if Jamie was okay?
No, I did not.
It was strictly to check on your ring?
My ring, yes.
And why did you want to recover your ring?
Because I value my jewelry.
Okay.
It's very interesting to note how much more Michael's ring meant to him than his dying friend. This detail speaks volumes about exactly how Michael's mind works, namely that he possesses a disturbing disregard for the lives of others.
Do people know that you wear that type of ring?
Yes, many people know I wear this type of jewelry.
Yeah, no shit. This kid's 14, of course. Don't say Hasan Core. Shut up.
Could someone have identified you because of the lost ring?
Yes, they could have identified this ring, definitely.
Okay.
He said, King, it's drip or drown.
When you went back upstairs to go back or into the bathroom to look for your ring,
yes,
who is the individual that told you someone was in the stall?
I'm not sure of his name.
Had you planned to do this to Jamie?
Yes, I did.
How long have you had this plan?
A little under a week.
And is there any specific reason why you planned this?
No, there's not.
Perhaps the most spine-chilling detail of all, Michael likely killed his friend purely for personal satisfaction. Michael, who had just celebrated his 14th birthday the previous day.
By the way, he's like technically 13. Like he just turned 14 when he did this murder. Insanity.
Had absolutely no reason to commit murder that morning.
I mean, technically 14. Yeah, sorry. I'm just saying that, like, he's so fucking young. Just turned 14.
He simply decided that he wanted to. A situation such as this can reasonably be explained by a bout of severe
No, that's not libertarian logic. That's like the opposite of libertarian logic, by the way. Like, my point is, like, it's his first day as a 14-year-old, and he did this. Can you rehabilitate this? No. There's currently no medicine. This is the one thing that you absolutely cannot rehabilitate.
psychosis. However, he doesn't present as a person who has psychosis.
Yeah, 14 in a day in, especially if you do a murder, is 14 in my book. Thank you, Nolan. I agree. It's like, bro, what are you doing? You can't enter 14 with a murder. Like, okay, Chad is super hung up on the detail. Yes, he was 14 years old. Okay? But it was his first fucking day of being 14 when he did this. Greatest setup, it's dog shit. But this is an old story. I think this happened a long time ago because I had a setup like this too back in the day. But never in my room, of course, because my parents. Oh, that's not true. I had it in high school. Yeah, this is the most 2004 ass setup.
Based on his behavior during the interrogation. Michael seems to be thinking clearly and logically. There are no indications that he is
Greatest console of all time, straight up. I will say it. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. PlayStation 2 was such a fucking game changer. Man, what a beautiful piece of machinery that was. The jump from PS1 to PS2 in like tech was unimaginable, dude. The games that came out, it's like mouth-watering for me. And then PS2 to PS3 was like not that big of a jump, and then PS3 to PS4 was not even a jump, and PS5 is not even a thing. But that original PS1 to PS2 jump, fuck man, that shit was so good. God damn it, imagine playing fucking Game Boy games your entire life, and then all of a sudden the PlayStation 2 comes out, and you're like, what the fuck? Are you fucking joking? What is this? The colors is so vibrant, the games. It was perfect except for those expensive memory cards. Yeah, the fat yellow ones. You guys had those? It was like this big. You're coping? This is the psychopath's room. So what? You must be a psychopath if you don't recognize that the PlayStation 2 is the greatest fucking console of all time. What do you mean? It lasts like a fucking decade too. Yeah, it was good as hell. Anyway, let's continue.
Responding to internal stimuli, such as voices.
Yeah, 8 and 16 megabyte memory cards. That's what they used to have back then. That shit was so whack. God.
In his head or unseen figures. There's no evidence of paranoia or delusions. Therefore, there is no evidence of a thought disorder. Michael's heightened intelligence and composure, as well as his blatant lack of remorse, are reminiscent of someone with antisocial personality disorder. However, an ASPD diagnosis cannot be given to anyone under 18. We cannot conclude that Michael has ASPD or psychopathy, the term often used to describe the most severe.
Bro, dog, it says what a 14-year-old psychopath looks like. What do you mean? You titled it that way.
Type of antisocial personality.
It's like we're heavily implying it.
Not only because we don't have enough information about Michael's symptoms and history, but also because Michael is only 14 years old and too young to be given such a diagnosis. At most, Michael's behaviors align with a diagnosis.
Bro, this kid was so rich, by the way. Like, it's obvious. Not only did he have all the jewelry and shit, but I cannot comprehend. Like, I had a fairly affluent family. The idea that, like, he had all this many VHSs, he had his own fucking TV in his room, he had his own PC in his room, he had a PlayStation 2 in his room. That's crazy. This kid was absolutely from like an upper middle class to a wealthy family.
Diagnosis of conduct disorder.
Motherfucker, you did dressage? That's what I'm saying. Takes one to know one.
Particularly since he has a history of taunting and physically.
And also probably parents that didn't really give a fuck about him too, for the record. Like, the reason why I say that is because, like, a lot of, like, first of all, he bought all these, like, weird knives and shit. That's crazy. Screams parents that give him money and don't really pay attention. The fact that he has a PlayStation 2 in his room and he has all this set up in his room also implies that his parents didn't really give a shit about him because they were just like, yeah, fuck off. Go do your thing. Like, classic. My parents never let me do any of that stuff. They never let me have a PC or anything in my room. They never let me have the PlayStation. Like, all that stuff was completely locked away.
Intelligence and composure, as well as because we don't have a history of taunting and physically assault that the person likes of the person, or when they are told that the person likely suffered. In other words, they don't respond with an emotion that matches the circumstance.
Why did you choose Jamie, your friend?
He was the easiest out of anybody because he would have followed me because we're such good friends. And I knew he would have followed me in there and done what I would have said.
Okay. Now, I asked you about an individual named Andre Martin.
Yes.
Do you know Andre?
Yes, I do.
How old is Andre?
He is 13.
What grade is Andre in?
He's in 8th grade.
Is he a friend of yours?
Yes, he is.
Is he in any of your classes?
No, he's not.
How long have you known Andre?
I have known him since about the 4th or 5th grade.
And I know you told me earlier that usually you and Andre and Jamie hang out.
Yes,
at
the north part of the parking lot.
Yes, at the fence, correct. Calling your attention to yesterday, Monday, your birthday.
My birthday.
Did there come a time when you approached Andre with the same type of ruse?
Yeah, yes, there was. Me, Andre, Jamie, and myself were in the bathroom.
Which bathroom?
We were in the other bathroom than where the victim was found today.
Referring to Jaime as the victim may be evidence of how detached Michael feels from someone who was supposedly his friend. He may be unable to or have difficulties with forming real emotional attachments to other people. This phrasing could be another indication of psychopathy, as it shows Michael has a lack of prosocial emotions. Empathy and emotional attachment are considered prosocial emotions, which are things psychopaths struggle with feeling.
I don't know if a True Crime React is ethical after the recent ethics of true crime discussion going on. A React just ain't exactly great. I only thought about this now, and I doubt you considered it either. What? What? Yeah, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep doing this, I think.
This is why they often present as emotionally detached, distant, and indifferent, because they're apathetic to society
Where
and
did
to
that
people
come
and
from?
situations in general. The fact that psychopaths...
Oh, people are upset about the new Dahmer show on Netflix? Oh, wait, why? What happened? I didn't watch it. Is it good? After the Dahmer show on Netflix, there's been a big discourse on Twitter about ethical true crime. It's fucking lame. Don't worry about it. Yeah, man. It's not good. It is good. Oh my God, chat is so conflicted. Victims' families are upset. Oh, they're mad because Dahmer's hot. Is that what it is? I mean, he technically was hot in real life too. Like, he was seen as an attractive man. Is he really creepy on the show? I mean, he's a cannibal, so of course. I don't think people understand, like, this is literally a component that plays a role. Even Ted Bundy famously was able to, like, flirt with his victims ahead of time and, like, lure them in before, doing gruesome, horrific shit. It's so good, but as always, people tend to romanticize serial killers as a consequence of sensationalizing murders rather than bring awareness to the matter. But either way, the show slaps. This thing is, like, I've just never been able to fucking understand why they look at shit like this and go, damn, that shit's great. I will never understand that, ever. Like, I look at that and I'm like, that's so fucking gross. Not every serial killer is going to look British, okay? I'm sorry. Not every one of them is going to look like fucking, what's his face, that rapist guy. The fucking most famous rapist, not Jimmy Savile, thank you, Jimmy Savile. Like, that dude, you look at him, he's like, okay, that looks exactly like what a rapist would look like. Not Prince Andrew, no. Damn, there's a lot of British rapists, man. Holy shit. No, stop pulling up the Tory lineup right now. I'm talking about one specific. Jimmy Savile.
Paths are emotionally detached helps them to stay calm in situations that would cause the average person to feel afraid or nervous, such as in an interrogation or the act of committing murder.
What were your intentions yesterday?
My intentions yesterday were to kill Andre. The same way that I killed Jamie today, except for the fact that I was going to stab him in the back and stab here, and that would have been it.
Who was this you were going to do it to?
I was going to do this to Andre.
Michael seems almost enthusiastic about the opportunity to disclose every meticulously planned detail of how he was going to kill both of his friends. The animated way in which he illustrates his master plan to the detective indicates that he's relishing the opportunity to divulge his wicked scheme, and even enjoying the attention he's receiving. Whatever his motivation, Michael seems extremely invested in this experience of being involved in a real criminal proceeding. These are several more signs of possible antisocial personality disorder. From a legal perspective, his intention to cruelly execute multiple people could be used as evidence that Michael is essentially a serial killer in the making. The prosecution could argue that a life sentence is necessary in order to protect potential victims of a future serial killer.
Earlier, you told me that you had a belt and you were going to strangle someone.
Yes.
This is what I mean, by the way. Like, remember when we talk about like prison abolition? Not that like the 1% of criminals, even though psychopaths are overrepresented in corporate boardrooms, the government, high up government positions, and also the prison system. But having said that, just because a fraction of prisoners that are incarcerated are psychopathic doesn't mean that you shouldn't have an empathetic approach to justice. However, they are the reason, in my opinion, at least until, you know, there is some level of like medical technology that knows and adequately figures out how the most ethical way to deal with psychopaths are, like what kind of medical treatment you can do with a psychopath. There is still a necessity for people like this to be held and away from and kept away from society. Is it nature or nurture? No, man. I mean, it can be both, but sometimes it is nature. Like, there's nothing you can do. You got to fucking make sure that you exclude motherfuckers like this from society. They're going to kill. He literally is just like, I'm going to kill. I'm going to kill again. I wanted to strangle another person. You know what I mean? There's always nature and nurture as a component, but like mental illness, you can't fix them? No. Psychopathy is a very specific type of mental illness. Antisocial personality disorder is a very specific type of mental illness that is incredibly difficult to diagnose, incredibly difficult to also consistently do psych evaluations on, because a psychopath learns how to display emotions and is incredibly manipulative as a consequence of that, and can even manipulate the doctors. Now, having said that, you can't really treat it at this moment either. Like, we just don't fully understand it. We just don't fully understand it, and we don't really know how to deal with it, and we don't really know how to even, even engage with like criminal psychopaths. So, for example, in the UK, they have involuntary holds. Like, it's pretty crazy. Where like they have a really rigid and really awful way of doing it, but like once you get a psychopath diagnosis in the UK, you're permanently locked up. If you are a psychopath and you've done like a violent psychopathic crime, oftentimes they just like straight up lock you forever. That doesn't mean that like every psychopath is violent, by the way, but violent psychopaths are very difficult to treat. Yes, Ron Johnson, The Psychopath Test, is a great book. Just like everything else, yes, it is a spectrum too. No one uses psychopath, sociopath as a medical diagnosis as a common use term. Yes, I'm talking about antisocial personality disorder, which is not inherently violent, but I'm talking about, John Ronson, not Ron Johnson. Did I say Ron Johnson? I was reading chat. I'm sorry. Dude, my brain is broken, okay?
First, and then after he was dead, I was going to make...
What is this? I love when chatters go, Pog. Just saw you on Andrew Schultz's podcast. To be honest, I used to think your ideas were nuts, but loved everything you had to say. Happy to admit I was wrong here. Let's go.
Sure, by stabbing him.
Okay, and this was Andre.
This was Andre.
Now, did you lure him into the bathroom yesterday?
Into the bathroom, yes, not the stall.
Okay. And how did you accomplish that?
The bathroom?
Yes.
We were late to class. I told them both that we were going to be late to class. And so we snuck upstairs after the late bell had rung. We got to the bathroom, and I was trying to convince Andre to go into the stall.
Okay. And how were you going to do that?
I told him that I had something to show him.
Okay.
Yes.
And what was his response to that?
His response, he didn't want to do it, so he said no. He's like, why can't Jamie go first? My response then was that he's gonna go next.
Okay. Now, did Jamie agree? Did Jamie say, I'll come in, I'll look?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And what did you say at that point?
I said no, he's gonna go first.
Okay. And any particular reason why?
I wanted to get Andre killed first before
Okay.
I got Jamie.
All right. Now, when that did not happen yesterday, what did you end up telling Andre and Jamie?
Michael is taking up a lot of space on the table with his arms and hands. This could be indicative of confidence and feeling in control of the conversation, or at the very least, feeling at an equal level as the detective.
I said, all right, and I said, are you gonna guys cooperate tomorrow? They're like, yeah, okay, we'll cooperate tomorrow.
All right.
Michael's word choice here says a lot about his relationship with his friends at school. When Andre refuses to go into the stall with him the day prior, Michael asks his friends if, in his own words, they'll cooperate with him the next day instead, to which they both agree. The way he speaks to his friends indicates that Michael was likely the authority figure in his friend group, and that his friends regularly felt like they had to obey him. That might explain why he thought he could easily lure them both to a horrific fate. Sadly, Michael was right about Jaime, but clearly underestimated Andre.
Today, before this happened to Jamie, what were your intentions going to be if Andre should have shown up?
I would have talked him into coming to the bathroom with me, coming into the stall. Then I would have proceeded to slit his throat and stab him continuously until he died in the neck area.
Yes.
And then I would have left him there.
Yes.
Then gone back downstairs and talked Jamie into coming upstairs. Lured him into the other bathroom and slit his throat and stabbed him in the neck.
Okay. Now, Mike, where did you get this knife from?
I have a knife collection.
Uh-huh.
I've been collecting knives, and as I said, my dad has a store. And so I asked him for some knives. This was before I was going to do this.
Yes.
And I asked him for some knives. He's like, all right, you can take them. Because I wanted a not switchblade, but like a knife that can come out
I
easily.
think they call them gravity knives.
Michael had exhibited several warning signs of concerning behavior prior to the murder, most of which detectives won't discover until they speak with more of Michael's schoolmates over the next few days. Students reported that Michael demonstrated an intense interest in all things gore and death. Even the screensaver on his computer at school featured a scary creature covered in blood, which had caught the attention of other classmates. Michael also had a history of teasing and physically assaulting his peers. He'd been reprimanded in the past for mocking and hitting a couple of female classmates. He was also known to poke and chase other kids with a screwdriver that he kept in his backpack.
Let me ask you this. Is there any particular reason why you did this to Jamie?
No, there's not.
Did he offend you in any way?
No, he did not.
Did he harm you in any way?
No, he did not.
Mike, you know the difference between right and wrong, correct?
Yes, I do.
Do you think what you did is right or wrong?
No, I don't.
Well, what don't you think?
I think it is neither right, but I don't think it was wrong.
Do you know what you did is wrong?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
The fact that Michael is saying that he doesn't think what he did was right or wrong shows us that he must have come up with his own explanation or justification for what he did. Had the detective probed further, we may have gotten more information about why Michael believes that killing Jaime wasn't necessarily wrong. This could have possibly revealed some delusional thinking. Michael said himself that Jaime didn't do anything to him, so for Michael to believe that what he did wasn't wrong means that he likely has some type of unconventional belief about taking someone else's life.
Is this?
Oh, what the fuck? I was muted. Debate perverts, not even once. I'm just gonna say it, and we're gonna react. We're not gonna react. We're just gonna move on. Okay? That's debate pervertry.
The first time that you have been involved in something like this, Michael?
Yes, it is.
Are you sorry that this happened today?
No, I'm not.
And this was an unprovoked attack on Jamie?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Sir, has everything you told me been true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it has.
Have I forced you to give this statement, sir?
No, you have not.
Have I treated you
This
gentlemanly?
is just the regular Florida way of wrapping up an investigation.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you have.
Thank you, sir. I have no further questions.
Okay.
Following his interrogation, Michael was transported to the Juvenile Assessment Center. Michael stood trial 4 years later, pleading not guilty by reason of insanity. At his trial, a particularly startling piece of evidence was brought forth, a notebook of Michael's that contained information about famous serial killers, a list of people he planned to kill, including his older sister, and a mission statement that declared his need to cleanse the planet by murdering people. Needless to say, the jury took no pity on him. On September 24, 2008, Michael Hernandez was found guilty of the first-degree murder of Jaime Goff and the attempted first-degree murder of Andre Martin. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 30 years for the attempted murder charge. 8 years later, in an unforeseen turn of events, a Supreme Court ruling made it unlawful to automatically sentence a minor to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Michael appealed and was retried in 2016. He was again sentenced to life in prison.
Yeah, ain't no way, bro. They're not letting you out of prison. Not an American prison system. No shot.
And returned to the Columbia Correctional Institute to serve the remainder of his sentence. However, Michael wouldn't remain in prison.
I don't know, man. I still don't think he deserves a life sentence as a kid at the end of the day. This is literally one of 8 instances where I will agree to involuntary permanent confinement. Okay. Some level of medical checks and medical diagnosis needs to happen. Nah, there is no way. There's no fucking way. Also, how do you get fatter in prison? That is kind of crazy. I was thinking about that as well. So you think it's a 100% lost cause? Well, unfortunately, with our current level of medicinal knowledge, medical knowledge, treatment, we don't have an adequate treatment for someone who has literally a antisocial personality disorder and a willingness to, and a willingness they've demonstrated to kill people. Finish this. I want to know why he wasn't in prison for long. Spoiler alert, it's coming.
Very long. On April 29th, 2021, Michael suddenly collapsed and shortly thereafter was pronounced dead. His cause of death was noted as cardiac dysrhythmia, or an irregular heartbeat, in connection with morbid obesity.
Michael said, wow, Hasan, this is basically you. Yeah, dude. Okay, hear me out. These kids, they're going to prison, right? Hear me out. Were the vibes fucked? What kind of vibes were the children demonstrating? Because sometimes it can be adequate. Yeah, he ate himself to death, which is crazy, in prison. How the fuck did he eat himself to death, bro? You can die from heart disease. It's the most American way to go. Let's be real, right? But how the fuck did he do that in prison? That is not very American, I feel like.
Obesity. Michael died at the age of 31 after having spent a total of 13 years in prison.
He murdered himself, 5 head. What's up, Happy Hob? Happy Hob! That was crazy. Now, I think we've gotten our fill. Kai Stream is always content. I think we've gotten our fill of true crime, right? That's crazy. It's active.
Hold on. Let me FaceTime. I gotta FaceTime somebody. I'm seeing way too many veggies on this dog.
I can't believe he got hibachi in his room. I didn't even know you could do that. Never guess how this Joe Rogan clip ends.
The Jim he's like, there's no one like him. There's literally nobody like him.
The fucking guy went to the bottom of the ocean.
So Bill and he went to, because Bill's like, goddamn, Jim's taking me down to the Titanic. I'm going next Thursday. And they went down to the Titanic. They had lunch on the deck of the fucking Titanic.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then Bill
that's
came
insane.
up and everybody was like ashen-faced and freaking out, and 9/11 had happened.
Whoa.
Bill Paxton was on the deck of the Titanic when 9/11 happened.
Holy
with Jim Cameron.
shit.
Is that crazy?
Oh my God. That's insane.
Insane.
That's insane.
The Jim.
What did he know? That's a wild story. I mean, I love James Cameron. So anyway, I also love the last 3-minute ad break that I'm running here. Okay, we're about at 8 hours almost. Sorry, I'm fucking tired. I'm gonna run the last 3-minute ad break here. Started a little bit later than usual today. No, well, I'm sorry, man. I'm fucking tired. Plus, I'm gonna stream tomorrow too. So. Yeah, you did a marathon last night. I mean, I did it. I've been streaming a lot. Rob Lowe's favorite NFL team is NFL. Oh yeah, I've seen this before. It's my favorite, dude. That's such a dumb fucking hat. Okay, buddy, tomorrow, folks. Sunday fun day. Okay, buddy, tomorrow. Okay, buddy, tomorrow. All right.
Stunning lo-fi introduction, starting off the day. All the chatter's trickling
Folks.
in. How silky bohey.
Folks.
Sunny Los Angeles, California, says Hasan.
This was a wonderful day. We're back to like regular stuff. I told you light forecast. Drama forecast was light today, on the lighter side, you know what I mean? And I hope I was able to adequately give that to you. Tomorrow, who knows what fun may come for us. Anyway, that's it. Love you guys, and I will see you once again tomorrow. All right? Peace.